Podcast Talk Show.
Good evening, Shasta County and vicinity. This is Myra Monarch. Welcome. So glad you can join us this evening. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Laura Thompson. She's a financial professional, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about what she does. Laura, welcome.
Thank you, Myra. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
We're so honored that you can join us. Tell us about yourself. What is a financial professional? Um, who are you working with? And all of that good stuff.
Well, thank you for that. So I have been doing this now for 8 years. I am a licensed health and wellness educator and licensed professional. And really the way I got involved in this is I was a client first. 10 years ago, the person who was coaching me, was helping me learn about how money works, about how to get out of debt, and how to start saving money for our future. And what I realized is that I was really behind the game. And so she mentored me and coached me for a couple of years. And then what we realized was that I was really far behind in saving for my retirement. And I realized that I needed a second source of income to kind of make up the time and to bridge that gap. And so she started mentoring me to learn how to do this as well. And it was something that I never, ever thought that I would get involved in because my background is in healthcare. And, she again mentored me, coached me, apprenticed me. So now I'm doing this on my own.
Wow, a lot of interesting highlights here. So you come from healthcare, diving into the financial industry, and it's very interesting that you say something that I think resonates with a lot of us, that we don't necessarily prepare for the future, for retirement. I'm surprised that there is still hope to retire in the U.S. Thank goodness for people like you. So what specifically it is that you offer? I imagine there are different services.
That is correct. So our business is really two-faceted. The first side is helping clients and customers, and we educate them about how money works, and we coach them to, again, get out of debt. Start saving money, have protection for their families for the what ifs. And on the other side, what I do now is I am recruiting, training, and mentoring, just like my mentor did, and apprenticing people who want to, take control of their own destiny and be their own boss.
Wow, that's wonderful. I wonder, a lot of people might be thinking, well, if I have bad credit, maybe I only have one job and I can barely make it. I could never afford to invest in my own future. What would you say to folks like that?
I totally understand that. And because that's how I felt when I first started this. I was like, I can't even save $10 a month, because I needed every single penny that I brought home, my husband and I, to pay our bills. And I never thought that I could start saving. And again, the more you're educated about how money works and about, we live in the United States of America. There is that American dream that we are supposed to be living. And so what we're doing is we're kind of like re-inspiring people that the American dream is attainable. And so we start small. And we start wherever an individual is at, in teaching these concepts.
Mm-hmm. So who would be the ideal candidate to speak to, and what would be the first step that he or she may need to take?
That is a great question. If an individual went into one of the large banks or one of the large firms around town, most of them only will talk to you if you have a large amount of money, So one, we are working with everyday average Americans, people who, are struggling to get by, but we also help small business owners. We help business owners, have a succession plan. If they're concerned about partnership and what if one partner dies, there are so many ways to structure a business so that, both partners or an individual is sure that they are going to, be able to be successful in their business. But we also help families of all walks of life, really. Very rarely do we find somebody that doesn't have every single box checked on the financial foundation.
That's awesome. So, from business owners to individuals, what about our kids' future? I know at some point you mentioned even trusts. Is that
Yeah.
a service that you guys offer?
Yeah, indeed. So first of all, let's do the children. You mentioned that, and I know you have a child yourself. For myself, my parents never saved for college. I mean, they had 9 children, so when we got out into the world, we if we wanted to go to college, we paid for it ourselves. Likewise with my husband, his family helped a little bit with college. So one thing we're able to do is we're able to help families who have a child as soon as they have a social security number. We're able to help them set up a plan to start saving money for launching them into the world, whether it be college, whether it be they want to travel the world, when they grow up or whatever it is. So that's one thing that we can do for families. And then, secondly, you mentioned trust. The awesome thing is the firm that I work with has so many partnerships, and we are able to do referrals for families and individuals who are in need of a living trust and a will so that their family will avoid probate when they pass on. And we know that we all will pass on. Sometimes it's a hard subject to talk to people about because they don't like to talk about death. However, it is an important thing to plan for the future so that your family does not have to struggle when you're no longer here.
And that's such an important item. I've worked in customer service, various industries, and I can't tell you how many times it comes up that someone passed away, they didn't have a trust, and the mess it creates and the mess it leaves for the loved ones. It's just such a crucial realization. Like you say, it's we are all leaving this earth, so we might as well be prepared and not leave that burden onto our loved ones. Uh, it's great that you guys offer that. A lot of people come to me and think that they've expressed that maybe it wouldn't be worth for them to set up a trust because they don't have a lot of assets. Maybe they just own their home and their vehicle and they still have a mortgage. What would you say to someone like that?
Yes, that's a really great question. Again, I mentioned the partnerships. So we have a partnership with a law firm, an attorney group that is nationwide, and they are offering a 30-minute free consult to any client that I refer or any of our agents refer. So the attorneys will, show the individual how they can help them and what it means to have a trust and a will. And in addition, they do power of attorney for healthcare. They do power of attorney for financial. So like if you're not able to make those decisions and you're still alive, having that predetermined person to help you with those kinds of important, questions and situations to make decisions about. Um, and in that 30-minute time frame, the client can share with the attorney, this is what I have, what do you think? And then they will give the recommendation, because if you don't have a lot of assets, if you don't own property, you might not need a trust, but you probably need all the other things. In fact, what they tell us, the attorneys, as soon as you turn 18, that individual needs to have a power of attorney for healthcare, for financial, and then advanced healthcare directive so that you can put down in paper what you wish to happen to you if you're not able to make those decisions, if there's a healthcare scare.
That makes sense. So we've covered options for children for the future, whether it's educational or things they would want to do when they grow up. Trusts, you can help business owners. It sounds like maybe loan options, and to plan for the future, maybe retirement. Is there another service that you work with, life insurance or anything to that effect?
Yes, actually, there are many different services that we offer. One, we sit down and do a free financial needs analysis for an individual or a family. And in that, we are able to kind of say, here are the 6 steps for a solid financial foundation. Here are the areas that you might be lacking in. So the first one is, protection. Being sure that you have good healthcare protection, because not everybody has it through their jobs, healthcare, insurance. So we have referral options for that as well as Medicare supplements. The protection also is the estate planning piece. And then it's the life insurance. You mentioned life insurance. But life insurance has changed over the years. There's also the living benefits and long term care that's attached to life insurance now, which is why I'm so passionate because, like I mentioned, I was 30 years in healthcare. I've seen what happens to families when an individual is sick or has some kind of accident and they don't have those important aspects in place. So there's protection. Then there's debt. Myra, I don't know about you, but people really had a hard time during the pandemic.
Mhm.
And a lot of people were putting just groceries and their average bills on credit card. And so, families are averaging 15,000 or more, 50,000, $100,000 in credit card debt. So what we do is we have a referral partner who helps families get that debt settled and get that debt off their shoulders because, as you know, debt, is a burden on people's shoulders. So after that, we are also teaching people how to save money, and how to start paying yourself first.
Hmm.
That's a concept that, is in Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Pay yourself first. So again, if it's small, it's okay. Even if it's $5 a month, don't go get that fancy coffee or take the kids out to a dinner, save it, put it in and pay yourself first. And then after that, it's wealth preservation and passing on generational wealth to your family. And so those are the concepts we teach. Some of it I do in-house. A lot of it I do refer out as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So the title of financial professional, it just really covers a broad of services that you guys that you offer. That's great.
Correct.
So, what is the difference between investing through someone like you for the future and going to the stock market? I know there's a lot of volatility these days. People have a lot of questions. People are nervous about the economic state of not just the U.S. but the world. What would you say? There are still options.
Indeed. And, there's a place for everything. And I think it's important to have, a variety of things that you have that you are saving and protecting your money for the future. I don't know about you, but in 2008, my husband and I lost a lot of money in our retirement funds, our 401k. And I don't like losing money. I like to make sure that my money is protected and my money is growing. And so, you know, that is the investment side. The stock market side is not my area of expertise. It's not an area that I can even work in. I'm not licensed in that area. But what I teach is how individuals can grow and protect their money inside of a life insurance policy. And there are many tax advantages inside the life insurance policies. And the way that the money grows is just pretty incredible. And then it also can protect your family in lots of different ways.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So, other than you being local, what separates you from other representatives in the industry who offer a similar service?
Great question. So, you know, there's many things that were not good about the pandemic, but one thing that was really great about the pandemic for our business is that we did start using technology and, Zoom for our meetings with our clients. And it gives us the opportunity to grow. Beyond just the general area. So, one, I am licensed in 4 states. I do have clients and we do Zooms, over across the country. And then the other thing is I give my clients my personal cell phone number and I say, call me, text me anytime. I turn it off when I go to sleep. I'm not going to answer you at 2 o'clock in the morning, but when I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll see that text and I'll call you and I'll help you take care of your business, even on the weekend, even on holidays, because my clients become my friends. And some of them are already my friends and my family. And so it's important to me to treat everybody the way I want to be treated and to serve. In healthcare, I serve people. In this area, I serve people as well.
I can attest to you being a wonderful friend.
Thank you.
Um, you're welcome. What is the best way that we can reach you?
Oh, you can reach me by cell. And I'm happy to give that now. I don't know if I should.
Yes.
Cell phone, 530-722-5718. Call or text. And email address. And then I also have shared my website with you guys as well, that I'm happy for you to share that.
We'll go ahead and link all that information to the description. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Laura?
Well, what I want to add, again, I thank you for having me today. It's such an honor. And what I know is that when I talk to an individual, one, it's hard to talk about money. It's hard to talk about death, but most people are talking about struggling right now, whether it be that they don't have enough money at the end of the month or they're unhappy in their jobs. What I'm doing is I'm spreading hope. I'm spreading happiness and the belief that we all can be business owners. We can take charge of our future. And I'm building a team, and I would love to have any aspiring entrepreneur on my team to mentor and train to help and bless lives all over the country.
Oh, what a wonderful goal you have, and I'm sure you will have so much success. And I'm so thankful that you were able to join us this evening, and I look forward to having you again in the near future. Best to you, can you share that number one more time, please?
Yes, of course. 530-722-5718.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Laura. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you again next time. Until then, have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Podcast, talk show. Podcast, talk show. Wednesday, 4 p.m.